What's going on, YouTube? My name is Dustin Smith, better known as Bones, and today we're taking a look at my Lefevre L20.1 glove and blocker. Now these have some pretty cool new little features added to them, so let's go check them out. So, like I said, today we're going over my Lefevre L20.1 glove and blocker. A lot of things are going to look familiar here. There's also some really nice changes and additions that we got here, but let's start things off with the blocker. Now with the blocker, a lot of things are going to look very familiar here. If you have used Reebok or CCM in the past, again, things are going to be looking very familiar. So right away, the shape and the design is going to be similar to that Lefevre design you're used to seeing in the past. It's going to be a nice, well-balanced blocker, great fit, everything you've come to love about Lefevre. But first things first, I ended up going with a Nash palm on this. I usually go with the Sure Grip, something I've used a lot in the past and has done me well, but I decided to change things up a little bit, go with the Nash, add a little bit of flavor, pizzazz. Now you do have the option to change the size of the palm. I ended up going with a size large. You have the option to do medium, large, or extra large. Again, I fit right there in the middle on the sizing chart, so I ended up going with the large. Moving over to the cuff, this is what's going to be a big change here for the blocker, a nice little upgrade. So you have the option to do the one piece or the half piece. Now this is the half piece option. And what this is, it is exactly what it says. It's just the half piece, but it's an all new design and it really opens up to give you that extra mobility in the blocker. So when you're reaching out for that big blocker save, you got the mobility. And when you're going to play the puck, you know you're going to get good wrist mobility with this big open cuff. Now the one piece cuff, it's a little different. It's one piece, obviously, that wraps all the way around. So you're going to have that extra material there against the board. But I decided to go with the new design in the half piece cuff. Now something we're all very familiar with in the Lefevre gloves is the Velcro strap here. You can crank this down, get a nice tight fit around the wrist, or you can leave it nice and open. Either way, you're still getting that big open area here in the cuff. And again, something we're used to seeing in the blocker is this nice finger protection. Okay, your fingers are going to be nice and well protected here. You're not going to get those pucks that like to sneak up into your fingers. Nice, good, consistent finger protection we're used to seeing. Something else we're used to seeing here is the straight finger protection on the sidewall. This is the 595 binding list. I think the other option is the 585 with the binding. Ended up going with the binding list construction here. Again, if you're used to Lefevre and their sidewalls, nice solid construction here. Nice and rigid. You're going to get a good consistent feel. Nothing's going to be leaking through the arms with this design. And really, that just kind of wraps things up for the blocker. I mean, like I said, things are looking very familiar here. They got the addition of the new cuff. We're going back to the straight finger protection like we've seen before. Just a good quality blocker, handcrafted in Canada. So you know you're getting that top-notch quality. So moving on to the glove, that's where you're going to start to see some of these new changes, these nice little features that Lefevre has snuck in here. Now, I ended up going with the 590 closure, but something that I did end up changing up was the T. Usually I go with the 590 offset T, very unique to the 590. You don't get the offset T with the 580 or the 600, but I ended up changing things up and going with the double T. And right away, this thing is huge. So looking forward to really kind of getting used to this nice big pocket, which has this really nice big target for catching pucks. Now, something new with Lefevre this year is the addition of the extra palm protection. So you still get the regular game ready, the pro, and the practice, but now they've added extra to all of those. So I ended up going with the pro extra just because I wanted that extra protection that I get from the pro plus a little bit more, and not quite committing to that practice palm, but still being able to get a really good closure out of this glove. And honestly, I'm genuinely impressed with how well this glove closes. I mean, especially considering I got the extra protection on there. I mean, this thing closes like a dream. Something that I did notice that was a little different, I don't know if it's the seam, if it's the stitching that they put in here or what, but I absolutely love how well this glove closes. Now moving on to the back of the glove, this is where things are really going to start to get different. We've got a whole new design back here. Everything is completely changed. All these flaps are completely new. And they've really changed the way this flap attaches. So they got this new Velcro tab here, which is nice. And then they got the elastic strap here. So this is a nice elastic strap, which I think really helps in the closure of the glove. I mean, you can really see it in action when you close it, but that's a nice little added feature. But the coolest little feature that I think that Lefevre has snuck into this glove has to be the thumb and pinky loop. Those anchors that you lock your pinky and thumb with have totally changed. Now it's just a simple Velcro tab. If you want to crank it down, you can crank this down and lock it in. If you want to loosen it up, you just open the Velcro and loosen it up. And it's the same thing on the inside here. So when we open the glove, you get this tab here, which really helps you dial in how you want your pinky looped. If you want it nice and tight, you can crank it down nice and tight. If you prefer it loose, you can just leave it nice and loose. Now opening the glove up, things are looking pretty familiar in here. You get this strap that goes over the top of your hand, and then the strap here that goes over the top of your fingers. But what I really like is the fact that you can really open this up. I mean, this opens up completely, especially when I'm drying my stuff out. I really like to open everything up and let everything air out really nice. And then of course, everything just closes up so nice and smooth, really helping you dial in that custom fit and feel. Now, another custom option is the strap here. You can go with the leather strap. I end up going with this nylon strap here, something I've done in the past. I have tried the leather strap before, but you know, this is all reliable, so stick with it. Now, of course, with the strap here, you can definitely crank things down, get it nice and tight around the wrist. But in closing things up here, Lefevre has really kept things wide open here at the cuff. So this is a nice wide open cuff that really gives you that added mobility in your wrist. So when you're reaching out for pucks, you're not limited in your movement. And same thing when you're playing the puck, you can really get that good wrist motion with this glove. And of course, as it says right here, handcrafted for Bones. All right, everything's coming out of their factory in Canada. So you know you're getting a good product, which really helps them stand out from everybody else. I mean, you know you're gonna get that professional grade glove and the professional grade blocker. But there you have it. We got the Lefevre L20.1 glove and blocker. Now be on the lookout. I'm gonna have another video coming out where I'm going over the leg pads, going over the awesome new features. So make sure you subscribe, come back and check those out. And in the meantime, we'll see you around.